same stuff that we talked about before. We just can't physically hold up to have 2 practices a day. So we walked through, got some good mental work, kept some young guys out here just to do a little 7-on-7 with the younger guys. Jesse continues to progress extremely well. Probably went 80% right there in that 7-on-7 drill, so we're excited about him.
How does his arm compare to, say, Barkley's or some of the other guys here?
Yeah, we had Jesse last year in camp in Tennessee, so we're very familiar with him, but his arm strength has even improved since then, since having him through a couple workouts there, and has really come in extremely serious about learning this offense and studying extra, and has done really well with command of the huddle, so we're excited about him.
Fair to say you kind of break with Nick Perry, just the high ankle sprain?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with high ankle sprains. They still go for a ways. We've seen those before where somebody says 2 weeks and it ends up being 4 weeks. So those are always tough, and even when they come back, they aren't necessarily full speed. So, we will even. It's just another reminder. We tried to go one drill of being live, and we can't afford to do it. So we will do no tackling or any live drills at all besides preseason game 2 and 3. We won't do it in 4, and we won't do it in practice. Ever again until about 4 years from now.
Is that what they told you? 2 weeks probably with that?
You don't know. It's all individual basis, but that's what they say. But some guys come back right on that. Some guys take longer. He's probably a kid you wouldn't think would be much longer because he does rehab so well, and he does take care of himself extremely well.
How important is it for Dylan to get out here and get these reps in practice and keep moving forward?
Extremely important. It's just, from the standpoint of him, outside of the discipline part, which you've all already been through, why that was done and the strong message sent to our team. It was very powerful last night in our team meeting. I think they got the point of how serious we are about doing things right in the team meeting. Okay, so that's over with now. The key for Dylan is to continue to develop, and it's one game, and so as that time this could have happened. Now that we're over it, deal with that. Make better decisions. But this could have happened on the Thursday or the Tuesday of the game. He could have sprained his ankle and been out for the game. So this isn't the end of the world for his career. He's just got to continue to develop, which he's come out here with a great attitude, and he needs to learn from this and not let it affect as he goes forward. He's still got 12 games to look forward to, and he's pointing to that Virginia game.
Do you think this puts him behind it all? Is some catching up to do come week 2?
No, I don't. Dylan has really picked things up incredibly well. We've asked him to do a ton of things. He's lined up everywhere. It's even the high standards we hold for guys. It's even surprising for us, for a guy that young, to be able to pick up mentally all the things that we ask him to do. He's out there telling some of our junior and seniors, when they're on and off the ball. He's out in formations, which is very unusual. He doesn't get rattled out there.
Who's going to do some of the things that he would have done in that first game?
We may not do them. So we'll continue to look at other people. We got a lot of backs. We have a lot of kind of specialty different guys. As you look at the David Osberg being a 240-pound receiver, you look at Stanley Havili being a unique out of the backfield fullback. Very unusual. You look at Jordan Cameron, a 250-pound tight end that goes out and runs the receiver routes. So we have a lot of stuff to figure out with guys, exactly how they're going to fit in as we start to game plan for the Hawaii game and for the season in general. We weren't necessarily like that when we were here before. Before, you kind of knew who the guys were, and there was always kind of a big X, and there was always a pretty fast Z, and there were good tailbacks, but there weren't a lot of we're going to play this guy at receiver just for these things, or we're going to play this guy at tight end just for these things. So it's a little bit different for us.
Would the substitution pattern be more like individual guys as opposed to like group substitutions, things like that?
Yeah, I think you'll see guys doing specialty packages. I don't think that you'll see. I think when you go back before, guys just played the whole game for the most part. The X played the whole game, the Z played the whole game, the starting tight end and the fullback. And I think you'll see guys maybe not play as many plays because there's more people that can do certain things.
With the scholarship reductions in recruiting, do you feel like you won't be able to get those kind of specialty guys and you'll have to adjust?
No, I don't think so. It's still who we pick. there won't be as many of them as we talked about. We just got to make sure that we get the right ones. We're still going to target the best players in America and come here, same as we did before. There just won't be as many.
If Nick Perry were out for the first game, or one of those top 3 defensive ends were out, who would be the next guy to enter into that mix?
We really don't know yet. We did do something yesterday, which might be an answer. We moved Derek Simmons to end, played him out there some. He did some good things. You know, Kevin Green's still young. James Boyd's just got over there. You know, it's not a, in the league being gone, it's not a lot of, there's not a lot of answers there, so we just got to develop a couple young guys, and work with Derek going to a new spot.
Is it conceivable that you could use Devon Kennard as a pass rush specialist, or do you not want to mess with his head?
Probably not right now. That really doesn't work very well. People talk about that, for years and years, about taking your starting linebackers and putting them down. The problem with it is the normal defensive end rushes all day, and they get really good at it. And now you just move a guy and he plays middle linebacker the whole day except for one period. So you do that more with a backup. If Devon were to not win the starting job, then that would be something to look at. And if Kalippo were not doing it, it'd be something we could look at with him. Playing maybe in a 2-point stance out there, like Cush did and Clay.
You run some great D tackles your first time here. Where does Jarrell fit in that mix?
Probably most similar to Mike. It just sounds a bit. I joke with him. He's kind of short and squatty. But he's got that big base. And he's hard to move and he's quick off the ball. It's probably most similar to Mike of all the guys. Cedric was built a little bit different.
Has any of the freshman tight ends stood out to you? Any one of them seem more advanced in terms of running routes or that sort of thing?
Xavier probably is different than the other two in that he's 260 pounds, and so he's a big physical blocker, but he's very unique. He can really run extremely well as well. And then the other two are very similar to each other. They're both kind of receivers that we've got to continue to work on the blocking aspect of it.
How surprised were you by what happened with Dylan and the the choices and all that? How much were you kind of not prepared for that?
I wouldn't say surprised. You got a lot of players and they make mistakes, especially freshmen. You got to deal with them. Surprised would not be a word. Disappointed is the word, but we're moving forward and hopefully he learns from it and hopefully the other guys learn from it. When they're in, everything they do counts, and so it's not just one thing. Everything adds up. It's basically, we tell them it's your resume. Your 4 years here is your resume for the next level, and you get off to a very good start.
Kind of thing happens at schools all around the country, obviously, but is it more of a headache for you because people are looking for any sign that things are going wrong here?
Yeah, we're in this extremely sensitive environment here, a national environment about our program, and so that's why we talk to our guys all the time, even more than we normally would, about making the right decisions, because anything they do is going to be blown up, and it's going to be bigger than what other people do at other places. It is what it is. We can't control that, so we deal with it, and we can make the right decisions and stay out of the media.
When is your next scrimmage?
Our next scrimmage is Sunday, I believe.
Off Sunday.
I don't even know what day it is.
Saturday.
What's today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Saturday.
So you're saying that's the next time you'll tackle?
Yeah, we will tackle Saturday, then we'll tackle a week from Saturday, and then that will be it. The preseason game before, I believe, is on a Thursday, so that it's, because we're playing on Thursday after that, so we'll only have two tackling. Even within that tackling, we're still going to, probably limit a lot of our frontline guys.
So tonight's going to be full pads, but not full tackling?
No, tonight we won't even put on full pads. We probably won't put on full pads again besides those 2 days, and so we'll put on shoulder pads and stay off the ground.
This looks like, so far from what we've seen, a pretty good tackling team, but that's not an issue where you would be worried about the fact that they're not going to get to tackle a lot. Is that your kind of observation about this team? They do tackle
I
a lot?
don't know that. I don't know. I think that our front seven is, but our secondary, there's a lot of new guys back there. Those young corners haven't had to tackle very much, but we have to be smart. Obviously there's some concern with it. Go back to what Coach said here after the Texas Rose Bowl game. The biggest thing he thought about was we didn't tackle enough. He pounded himself on it. We didn't tackle enough lead up to that game. Well, we line, and it was no different than all the other bowl games before when we shut down everybody. So there's always that concern and worry that we're not doing it enough, but we can't afford to. We can't afford to go to the next tier guys and risk more guys going out.
Did you? I want to make clear. Did you reconsider how much hitting and tackling you're going to do after the injuries that happened yesterday, or was this kind of the plan all along?
No. This was not. As we got into it, we just started seeing how. I mean, we ran a drill with quarterbacks at receivers yesterday. You know, our 5th and 6th string quarterback were playing receivers, and so it was just a constant. It was a reminder as we go into it. Injuries are going to happen. Guys are going to get banged up, but we can't afford to do it. We can't afford to have everybody sitting over there in the tent because we're wasting practice because we're taking reps with guys that will never play. So we just have to be smart about it.
So you're only going to go full speed contact in the scrimmages that you have left?
We're only going to tackle in 2 of the 3. In preseason game 2 and preseason game 3. We will not in 4 because it's too close to the game. So that's it.
You were in the goal line situation yesterday. Is that one of those things? The hitting was, pretty intense, and the more they were hitting, and the more they were hitting, are you thinking this is a good thing and a bad thing in a way?
Yeah, no, it was a great thing because they were responding, but look what happened. We lost one of our great defensive ends, and it's not worth it now. Obviously there's a worry. Are we gonna tackle really well and be extremely physical when we kick off? Versus Hawaii. I just had to weigh it. Let's stay healthy. We do.
You would play it differently if you had, say, 80 guys versus 70?
Yeah, this is completely foreign to myself. Ted Ogeron, this is nothing that is anything about what we're about. But you gotta don't be stubborn and change. We had to change. And, the first day of pads we normally do the old Oklahoma drill.